Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to match number 2 between Na'Vi and the Flipside Tactics. This one's going to be trained, and it's the second time we've seen it played today. First time would be between Mousesports as well as Echo Fox. If you guys want to know how that went, you can check the VODs on this channel. Checking things out right now, the buy coming in from Na'Vi is going to be 3 Kevlar vests as well as 2 utility men. With Tech 9 put onto Edward, that should be the X factor. Of course, we also see Guardian with a P250, and that should have been dropped by Seized, as opposed to a second utility picked up by him. So none of those utilities have been expended, and likewise coming in from the CT side of things, it looks like we just have a standard setup, if I'm looking at this correctly, coming in from Flipside. I think Waylander's got a P2000 on his person, not a P250. See a big split in the way of manpower here from Na'Vi, and that being said, we are now going to be, it looks like, witnessing a backdoor push coming in from the Na'Vi side of things. 3-man push, actually. Markelov is kind of getting in that smoke right now, trying to watch for anyone who might be venturing through that, and he might be able to exploit this, but he backs off for the time being. Fires a few blind shots through, but it's actually going to be Guardian coming in. A very nice distraction that smoke is at backdoor. And Markelov nonetheless will make the opening frag. Waylander with that P2K will be getting 1 to his name. So it's 5 versus 3 now in favor of Flipside. You see the man rotation coming in as they all struggle to get into the bomb site. No plant yet because, of course, they don't have the manpower advantage. We see Edward finally score a refrag. He's looking for that second, but it's World Edit, staying calm and aiming for the head. With that being said, Flipside, they take the pistol round just like they do on map number 1. Spoiler alert, unfortunately, coming in a little bit too late from myself. I do apologize. But that being said, Flipside can score the upper hand going into the counter-terrorist side on this map. 3 Thomases, a UMP, and a Tech 9 coming in from the CT side of things. World Edit opting to go with that Tech 9, not through purchase, but through salvage. Decides to save his money for an AWP later on in his match. Waylander making the opening frag. Edward gets that information. That's something to work with. But Blade nearly loses his head to, I think that's Flamey on the other side of smoke, if I'm looking at this correctly. No. Is it? No, it was not Flamey. It was, if I'm looking at this correctly, Guardian. Takes a little bit of damage, and then he backs off. Still looking for an opening pick to play with is Na'Vi right now. But that being said, they have very little leeway to work with. It's already a 2-man stack from the counter-terrorist side. We're talking about, of course, Shara and World Edit on bomb site. And, well, they both get taken down very quickly. 2 Huandigs made by Flamey and Zeus back-to-back in the same ticket, it must have felt like. But that is actually going to be Flamey getting another one. 2 versus 3. They're going to double back now and go for a flank. At least now it's a 1 versus 1 split. Markelov and Shara's combined firepower do take down 1. We now see Waylander going for the defuse, going to try and stick it. This can be dangerous. He does, however, see Guardian, comes out on top, and now switches to the P2K with a pre-fire. He's not checking his left flank, however, and that's what's going to allow Seized to simply exterminate him. Great aim, great tactics, great calls coming in from the Na'Vi boys, and that brings it back to 1-1. They should have enough money for the full buy. There it is, the critical play right there. They both go in, they both line up their shots, they both say, boom, headshot. Now we see Flipside on a bit of an eco. It's going to be 3 Deagles from them, a P250 and a 5.7 on Shara with armor. But Na'Vi now having the firepower advantage, very firm one at that, are going to be working with their present set up to try and push into the bomb site and get the plant. Most likely we'll have it within the next 5 to 10 seconds. Flamey clears out ladder room. World Edit, now the last man standing, and he is one man against the world. 31 HP on his person. Is he going to get sandwiched here? I mean, we can see that Zeus is coming in from behind him, or at least presently now it's Edward who's behind him, coming through CT spawn. Sort of. He's checking through that. And this is an interesting position to be in right now if you're World Edit. Oh, we see Edward coming back. He's not going to walk into certain death, so he's just going to skedaddle on out of there. Content with what he has gotten away with, but World Edit, you know, there's nothing to salvage here. He's only got a deagle. No frags were made by the counter-terrorist side, so he's going to be able to save that going into this upcoming round. But being only the second loss in a row, maybe we'll see something of a weak force buy coming in from them, possibly. We're talking about some players with $1,600. You do throw $1,400 at that, and then you've got $3,000. But I don't think that's going to be the play coming in from the CT side. You can see they're a little bit disappointed with themselves right now. But it looks like they're indeed just going to save their money. World Edit, very happy to salvage that deagle going into this round because as the team's opper, he probably wants to be able to make that purchase. Add 1,900 to 4,100, and you're talking about 6,000 altogether. He's going to have enough for armor. As well as an AWP next round if they lose. Win or lose, they'll be able to make a full buy next round. I'm sorry, if they win, they'll make the full buy regardless, but very stacked odds having no armor and only upgraded pistols. And no utilities to work with either. World Edit does make that opening frag, however, not too terribly bad with a deagle. Edward's going to be going forward, trying to get a better weapon in his hands, but so too is Blade. Trades were in favor of Flipside. Still are in some regards. But that is Markelov and Shara putting their firepower together to do some real work against Guardian, who I think just fell. Bombs planted. Flamey, one man against two CTs. He's going to have the aim punch advantage. Rotates his location. Going to be seeing Shara take one for the team. Wouldn't expect both of them to come from the same side, but they do. Flamey gets the better end of that exchange. The 4K and the bomb plant go to him. Very nicely done. Still, an expensive win is an expensive win. That is an elimination win. And given that they had 4 players fall in this, that essentially means that the terrorist side barely make any profit off the back of that round. Actually, they lose a little bit of money. I'm sorry. If you're going to follow what is a meta buy, which is $4,700. Here we go. Shara going forward, getting aggressive, going to light up 1.5 players, but that is the real story there. World Edit with the collateral. One shot did hit the foot of Zeus, so that's why he's still alive with 15 HP. Let's see if I read that correctly. I heard the shot. I saw 2 players' HPs drastically drop, one of which fell. The other one is now alive, Zeus. So I may have called that wrong, but do have mercy on me. Zeus going to venture into that smoke now. He hears the utilities being tossed in from the CTs, but it's going to be Waylander on the other side of that, finishing what World Edit started. So it looks like indeed it was at the very least, hello, an assist, but this is turning into another expensive win. Seized. Oh boy. Through the smoke. He doesn't have a kit. And oh man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. 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 Oh my goodness. Seized. Well, I don't know what to call that, but it certainly wasn't Seized winning it. So that's some serious testicles of titanium to our last counter-terrorist from Flipside. Really. That's a meme. It's a phrase that I like to use because balls of steel is certainly overrated by, I wouldn't say overrated, but certainly overused by a lot of mainstream casters out there. Gonna be seeing now what looks like Terroricide with full buys going into this. Not too terribly much lost, and they look like they're getting a very hot start off the back of this. Didn't have too many utilities to start things out, so we're trying to capitalize on what they have, and 3-man win. We see Edward going in and getting a whole lot of action. That was a very fast-paced round. Gone in 60 seconds is what it was. And I I wouldn't call it beautiful Counter-Strike, but it was certainly Na'Vi getting in, trading efficiently, and making the round go their way early on. So unfortunately, that advantage by one round that Flipside Tactics got, that kind of that really effectively resets their economy. They full bite in, and Na'Vi just shut them down with the prospect of winning the follow-up round in, effectively speaking, less than 1 minute's time. It's now going to be Seized getting one, and he's got a Mac 10 on his person. If he can get another, that'd be nice, but headshot from just about anything will take him down at the right distance. Zeus gonna get one, might be getting two more here, and very nicely done with a triple kill. Guardian going CT hunting himself is looking like he's gonna find the head of World Edit and potentially hang it on his wall. You know, much like a deer or a bear these days, maybe even a moose. But Na'Vi, realizing the situation that they're in with the reset that they costed Flipside, they're able to gauge this so perfectly because you can see Guardian and Seized holding on to both of those SMGs once again because they know the situation that Flipside are in. They know that they're not going to be counteracted with a full buy, you know, helmets or anything else like that. So Flipside, they kind of shot themselves in the foot by losing that one round, but they weren't expecting, you know, such a head-on rush to come from those guys. Blade does bring in one opening frag. Guardian's there for the refrag. Seized loses the Mac 10, but it's alright. He can full buy into next round. Guardian's gonna get a second to his name, adding $1,200 to the win, assuming they take this round. 4 versus 2, odds stacked against the CTs. Waylander will eat a frag before Flamey finishes the job. Guardian gets a triple kill in the background as well, so that's $1,800 plus $3,250, so brings it to $5,050 for him in the bank. That's worthy of a highlight, I think, in terms of finances right now. If you want to look at the finance focus, I don't invest in the stock market. I don't do any of that. But now Flipside has a double AWP setup. Markelov going to be the second opper. World Edit, of course, taking the role of the main opper. Guardian chose his name because he knows that he wants to guard his team. Execution utilities now being tossed in by Na'Vi from all angles, and one goes into ladder room before we see the whole of Na'Vi pushing in. Blade on the other side of smoke, still alive. Markelov nonetheless gets the opening frag. We're going to be seeing aggression from Blade. Gets nearly a double kill for his time, but it looks like instead it's going to be 4 versus 3 on the retake. This quickly turns into a 1 versus 4. Very nicely done coming in from Flipside. Looks like they're slated to take this round, and Zeus makes a split-second call to save his weapon. Very worthwhile, given that he'll at least get $2,200 by the end of the round, along with the rest of his team. Might be able to drop that for a teammate who really needs it. And I'd say probably the big play there was, of course, not only the opening frag here, but later on where we saw Blade pushing forward through the smoke and getting that that 1.5 additional frag at Electric and ladder room. But this is where the situation turns a little bit more critical for Na'Vi. The question is, can they take this round off the back of losing that previous round? Will they be taken down before even a bomb plant on this round? It's going to be, you know, one of those difficult things that maybe no one is able to predict, but certainly not as, say, a heated pace to this round as the previous round. Guardian scoping out at back door, not finding anything. Seized will be pushing ahead through smoke, and that's actually Blade seeing the barrel of Seized, taking him down before he even has a chance to shoot. Looks like this is now redirecting itself towards bomb site B. And on site, there's only World Edit and Shara. Shara is actually, he's right by ladder. In fact, he's on top of ladder. And this could actually work against Na'Vi greatly. There they are, tossing in a smoke. Landing down from Shara. 1-1 trade. World Edit's going to get one, looking for the other with a no-scope, but can't quite find it. It's going to be Guardian and Zeus doing what they can to get the bomb planted. It's now 2 versus 3 in this situation. They have to be able to hold their ground for the retake. I'm a bit surprised Guardian didn't see what was on the corner of that smoke. He will, however, more than make up for it with his frag on the blade, and now he's got to get 2 more. He will get 1. Markelov gets another, reveals his position, and Guardian gets away with that triple kill. Very nicely done on top of the bomb plant. In this situation, if I'm not mistaken, you know, it's an expensive win for Na'Vi, no doubt, but at the same time, we see Flipside essentially lose their stuff on this round. 1 for 1, 3 versus 2 at this situation, and that was where we see essentially Guardian get put in that situation where he made the triple kill. Not entirely sure about that zoom in on what I think was World Edit there. We of course have 3 players with facial hair, 2 of them particularly thin, like the guy that we always have zooming in, and that's going to be World Edit getting sneaky and shut down. Executed, essentially. I mean, Na'Vi, they know what situation Flipside is in, and for Flipside to make the best of the situation, they essentially have to do something outside the box with the weapons that they have and try and do it in a somewhat sneaky format, to say the very least. Edward brings it to the second frag for his team and sees he's going to push slowly towards backdoor. Markelov will see what's happening and immediately turns back. Flamey now in an awkward position. We're going to be seeing Shara actually make a trade, and Blade with another one as well. Not too terribly bad, but he's shut down by Flamey. Such a long distance with an AK-47. Bomb planted, and Shara's got an AK-47. If he can, I mean, like at the location he's at right now, it's pretty obvious that he just has the intentions of saving that weapon, maybe getting some exit frags, getting some, you know, just discouraging the curious, because right now Zeus is on the hunt for him. He's about to get snuck up on. I don't think he knows about it, and that just sucks when you've got a weapon in your hand and then... Wait, there's a chance for a knife here. Zeus knows it. Oh my goodness, he gets away. He got the full cash with that as a result of the knife, and that's just... It really is embarrassment at that stage. I think he was looking at the other side of the studio and just kind of waving back there and saying, "Hey, bro." You can see he's not too terribly happy about that. If I'm not mistaken, I think the knife skin that we saw coming out there was Bayonet Slaughter from Zeus. Here we are. Five-man stack onto bomb site B. They're right outside of the higher entrance right now. The overpass entrance. And at this moment in time, World Edit's actually watching ramp entrance with an AWP. He's forced to drop down by the flashbang grenade. Otherwise, he faces elimination from the round. And Markelov himself also has an AWP, but Shars gets taken down immediately. World Edit manages to make one. He might be able to make a second here, but the quick scope was in the wrong direction. In fact, there was no scope in. Edward's getting a double kill. Not watching his left flank could cost him his life, but instead he gets away with the triple. Now he's on the hunt for the fourth, but Flamey steals the quad. Pretty sure we're going to see a re-highlight of that, maybe, but given that our observer actually saw that, there we go. That's one. Just got to find the second here. Does a bit of a 180, then Again, another 180, and there's the triple kill. Nicely done by Edward. Curly-haired, bearded fanatic on Na'Vi. Gonna be seeing now Guardian looking for something, but that's gonna be C's getting the opening frag. World Edit removed Shara as well now. Edward actually didn't see anyone coming off of ladder, interestingly enough. This could be abused, but he actually turns around just in the nick of time to shut down Waylander's prospect. And that will be Flamey watching CT entrance to bomb site B. 5-man win, bank round for Na'Vi. I'm not sure what that puts not World Edit, but Flipside at right now, but it could be max loss bonus. Not really sure if there's anything here that's highlight worthy. We can see that there's some dialogue going across the Flipside tactics side of things right now. But we now have the round resumed. Na'Vi is now going to have 10 rounds on the board. Edward poking forward. I think that's max loss bonus from Flipside now. 5 rounds in a row at the very least. Edward waiting for an overextension from Shara, but not looking in the right direction just yet. We will actually see him get 1, and that's nearly 2 to his name. Shara scores a headshot onto Flamey. I'm sorry, was that Edward? He scored a headshot onto Edward, I'm sorry. But what had happened there was he didn't get any follow-up damage to center mass, so now Edward's going to be acting as the spare opera now that Guardian's taken down. That's actually a high-impact frag. Although, look at this. Well, it was painfully even at 4 versus 4, but now C's manages to make a refrag back to 3 versus 3. Now it's painfully even because we got 2 low HP players. Zeus does take a hit to the head, but no center mass damage. I mean, that's the unfortunate firepower disadvantage that the CTs by nature always have. It's going to be Markelov scoring a headshot on Flamey from such a long distance. He is now low HP. All he has to do is... He saw Zeus. I'm pretty sure he did. But Zeus is there with the pre-peak, not the pre-fire. Saw the 1 pixel, all he needed, and that's going to be Zeus and Flamey finishing the round onto World Edit. Force Buy is not going to be pretty here from Flipside. If I looked at this correctly, we're now headed into the last round of the first half, and it's kind of looking like a train wreck, no pun intended, for Flipside. But I mean, this is not how your CT side is supposed to go. But at the same time, when you're playing against Na'Vi, who alone this year have 4 gold medals from different offline events, it can be very difficult to justify any rounds against them. It's going to be Blade getting 1, Waylander with another, nearly finds 2 to his name, but I mean, the firepower disadvantage was pretty obvious there, and of course he had a FAMAS, not an M4, not an AK-47, so his power was very limited in that situation. We're going to be seeing now Markelov and Shara striving to hold this last round. Now it's all on Markelov. He surely C's can hear Markelov's footsteps. It's going to be pre-fire from C's. Does at least wall 1 shot onto Markelov, but now his entrance has been made known, and that's going to be a headshot coming in from Zeus to seal the end of the first half. Ladies and gentlemen, that's now going to conclude the first half. What's going to happen is they're going to go to about a 90-second break, and then we'll resume with the second half shortly thereafter. So don't go away, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, guys, we are back, and thank you all for your patience. Just a moment. All right, so I cut the audio in half because for some strange reason now we can hear the casters more than we could previously, and I'm not sure what this is all about. Pistol round coming in for Na'Vi. Waylander getting the first shot off, first frag off. And that's actually World Edit taking just scratches of damage, but There is 2 refrags coming in. Now it's 2 versus 3, not in favor of the CT. So right now, we're going to be seeing Na'Vi in a little bit of trouble, hurting. But they actually get a lot of body shots off onto the T's at this moment in time. They are now forced to push forward. Zeus does have a kit on his person. Now the bomb is planted, but that's going to be 1 versus 3 odds against Guardian. Doesn't have the kit on his person. I say it's almost impossible, but it's now looking more and more difficult. Guardian gets 1 more, but he's not able to follow suit. Can he stay alive? He can. Alright, so I was completely unaware of how much damage or how little damage you could actually be taking in that situation. So we, of course, do have, as you can see, 3 Deagles, 1 CZ75, and, of course, a 5-7 on the CT side of things. Na'Vi not looking too terribly hot just yet, but if they can make those 1 Deags happen, that's essentially all they need. Guardian going to play dangerous, Mr. Dangerous with that Deagle down backdoor. Actually overstepping his boundaries by a significant amount, losing such a chunk of HP or 2, but nonetheless surviving. Okay, so here we go now. Seized, actually blind, will be frontside killed by 2 terrorists. Flipside is not taking this too carefully by any means, and I think what's happening now is Na'Vi is in this situation where they think to themselves, all right, well, we have to hold on to what we've got, try and play for some kind of a major advantage going into the next round, and things of that nature. It's going to be Markelov stepping out, discovering the position of the CTs, and now we're going to have another rotation actually coming in from, it looks like, a Waylander. Guardian's actually watching A main, trying not to get surrounded by all of this, but looks like Flamey might be playing the role of Worm on the hook. Edward could potentially make a refrag here. It's going to be Guardian with 1, Edward with another. They're trying to get those weapons, but Blade shuts down that prospect. So only 1 player alive for Na'Vi at the end of it all. So now here we are. Guardian still has the Deagle and the kit on his person as well as the Kevlar, so it's, you know, small victory here and the sign of the most previous defeat. And now looks like C's is actually going to make the opening frag. I like this nearly unanimous rush coming in from the CTs. Edward coming in with the flank, nicely done. And they're going to be able to snag a couple of weapons with this. That being said, Seized, he has the AK on his person. I'm not sure about this decision, really, but they are spreading the firepower as opposed to putting the weapon on the player with the AK-47. If they can get a win off the back of this, I mean, they still have the manpower advantage, not so much the firepower, but that's going to be Guardian shut down. Seized gets a refrag, however. 3 versus 2, the bomb plant was a fake. And now we have World Edit getting a double kill and all of this. This turns out to be much more expensive for the terrorist side than it needs to be, assuming it's going to be Flipside winning. But Zeus does have the AK in hand. He can make the retake happen, but they hear his footsteps. He jumps, Markelov shoots, and he scores. So nicely done. Look at that, though. Just such an amazing lead into this, really. Very seldom seen tactic. Double AWP setup now coming in from the Na'Vi side of things. Glass cannon mode on Seized as he does have a kit. We're going to be seeing Flamey with 1 all his own as well. And with that in mind, this is potentially a chance for them to bring things back in their favor on this round. Headshot onto Edward after he actually took some damage from... I'm trying to identify what this was. He took he took a walled shot either through electric box or through the wall at ladder room. But nonetheless, we'd see Na'Vi with the man advantage. Guardian now over peeking a main, and it looks like he could potentially get away with. I think that's Edward right there. No, I'm sorry, not Edward. Not Blade. He's not over peeking right now. Doesn't want to do that. And World Edit drops the bomb as he is poking forward. Misses the flick onto Seized. And Seized has the read on him. He actually comes back and takes him down, punishing the missed shot. This is the chance now for Flipside to play in for a bomb plant. There we go. Guardian misses his shot, but he will not miss the second one onto Blade. Misses the flick onto Markelov, and he gets punished for that. Shar is going to get a follow-up as well. Flipside in a very difficult to work with position, but Seized and Edwards shut this down. Now removing all doubts from the Na'Vi fanboys out there. There it is, the missed shot. I mean, it felt like the crosshair was right on Seized there, but he was moving, so he couldn't really land that shot. Guardian took him down and then, well, tried to relocate that execute onto bomb site A, and it just didn't come together. This is now the force buy coming in from Flipside. 2 Tech 9s will be replacing the players without AK-47s, and now we have Guardian essentially zooming in at such a long distance, blind firing now through the smoke, not able to hit anything just yet, but we're waiting for something to happen at this moment in time. It's going to be spray through smoke, actually lighting up Zeus a little bit. We're now waiting for the execute to come in from Flipside. Flamey gets one, no refrag in all of this. So finally we see Waylander take Flamey down, catches him on ladder. Seized, getting the double kill. Edward with one to his name and a triple to now Seized. Double AWP setup now coming in from Na'Vi is going to take them to 2 rounds away from map victory. Here we go now, 2 P250s, 3 Glocks. It's the order of the day coming in from the terrorist side. We do see the train acting as a slight bit of armor for World Edit, but it's just not enough. And Seized is going to be getting 1, Edward 2, Zeus another, and Zeus a double. That was flawless victory coming in from the CT side of things, really. I guess this guy's playing Tinder. Maybe. But 5 AK-47s now coming out from Flipside, and they've got a long climb to begin to dive back into this game. Like, it's indescribable the insurmountable odds that they are facing off against now against Na'Vi. They have to win 9 rounds in a row to get overtime, including this one. Conversely, if we see Na'Vi win just even a single round, then they get away with the victory. Waylander at 10 HP as he trades 70 with Seized. That being said, Seized taking that amount of damage, did spot 2 players crossing over in his scope. Misses the shot, and that is actually very critical. We're going to be seeing, it looks like, a very quick encroachment onto his position. He's got to be covered with the rotation coming in from his teammates, but it's not quite there yet. Edward does manage to make 1. Seized finally taken down by a fragmentation grenade from Blade. Flamey spots the feet of Waylander. Now he's working his way up to what is going to be the overpass, the over platform. Switches to his pistol. He will be taken down by World Edit. World Edit gets a double, but not enough to shut down this round. And that is going to be map victory for Na'Vi. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from me for today.